Still preparing.
Sorry. Once again, Swakatang, Southern Gladians, welcome Bhante, Chandima and everyone to Dhamma Pit Stop 2.1. Wandama Bhante, we are very pleased to have Bhante with us to share his insights on understanding what is low life that we can learn from the Vasala Sutta, Sutta Nipata 1.7. Please allow me, Bhante, to share your biography. Bhante Dr. Chandima is an associate editor of the Journal of International Buddhist Studies at the Buddhist Research Institute of Maha Chulalongkorn Raja Vidyalaya University in Thailand. Bhante is also a research scholar at the Ronin Institute in USA. Bhante Chandima is currently the senior advisor of Patisota, a virtual Dharma organization that hosts weekly Dharma sessions online. Patisota blog was ranked 58 globally in the 100 best Buddhist blogs and websites for 2024. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Without further ado, let us welcome Dr. Chandima.
Thank you, Brother Lim. Brother T.C. Lim is the one who coordinated the whole trip, and very happy to see you, and you are my student on Friday Sutta class actually. So we've been actually seeing each other online for almost perhaps 2 years, almost maybe a year and a half, and very good to see you. And that's how I got to know others like Lim, Brother Lim and all the others. So I wanted to first start this Dhamma sharing by saying a very good evening to all of you. In our actually program Dhamma tour, today we are going to discuss this topic, as you can see behind me, and then tomorrow there is another talk, and tomorrow evening at the same time. And very happy to be able to have come here, the Southern, Gladians, Southern Gladians Metta Fellowship? How do you call it?
Just Southern Gladians.
Southern Gladians. and to see how things work, and then I think you are still improving your places, and I hope that things will be going to be fruitful as time comes in. All right, before we get started our Dhamma sharings, shall we pay respect to the Buddha by paying homage to the Buddha again. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Understanding low life from the Vasala Sutta. Vasala Sutta appears in the Sutta Nipata, which is a part of Khuddaka Nikaya. There are 5 sections in the Sutta Pitaka, and Khuddaka Nikaya is the last one. Vasala, the Pali word Vasala refers to someone who has a lowly life, who has a very a life that is not really standard in terms of the Dhamma actually. Someone can say that lowly life could be somebody who has no money, but here low life means someone who has unethical life. When someone has a lot of unethical things in his or her life, according to this sutta, we call it a low life. Let's see how the Buddha and one Brahmin, Bharadwaja, meet each other, and then how they start the conversation. So now it's almost 8 o'clock, so we'll be having this talk for 1 hour, and then 30 minutes has been from 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. to 9:30, we'll be having a Q&A. So you may save your questions while I talk. Okay. As you can see here, if we put this person as someone who has lots of worries, maybe someone who has a certain caste in India, who has no privilege according to Indian caste system, and if you look at this person, you can see he's a Brahmin. Is the camera okay? No. Is the lighting for the camera okay with this? You can take a look. Should be okay. Okay. So normally we call this person as a Brahmin, and this person, I took it to reflect what you call a person who was born into a certain caste in India. You know, in India, even at that time, they had caste. They interpreted some caste are lower than the other caste. So there are 4 types of main castes: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. And also they have further extension of some other castes called the people who are weaving, and they actually categorize people depending on their jobs, their work, and the places that they were born into. So this was the time that Buddha was living during the time of these people. So there are lots of conversations that were going between the Buddha and Brahmins. Okay. So this was what we can see in this initial discussion between a Brahmin called Bharadwaja and the Buddha. The Brahmin claims that the Buddha is of lowly character. Actually what happened was that the Buddha went for Pindachara, and then what happened, this Brahmin, Bharadwaja Brahmin, did not like his walking for Pindapata. So he said something in Pali. Tatreva mundaka, tatreva samanaka, tatreva vasalaka. Tittai. Stop right there. Mundaka means someone who is bald-headed. Samanaka means someone, a fake, what you call a fake monk. And Vasalaka is someone who has a low life. Mundaka, Samanaka, Vasalaka. Now, what do you perceive? What do you feel when someone named you with these words? Say, for instance, saying you have a low life, and I think in English they are calling get a life, right? So what do you normally feel when somebody is to talk to you like this? You feel really very worried about you. Am I really that person? Am I really that kind of a person who has a low life? So he addressed the Buddha in that way. Then the Buddha asked the Brahmin if he truly knows what it means to be a low life, someone who has a low life. So Buddha has a different way to interpret this low life according to the Buddhist teachings. How he asked, but Brahmin, do you know what is a low life? Or what are the qualities that make you a low life? Janasi panatwang brahmana vasalang va vasalakarane va dhammeti. No, I don't. It has to be Master Gautama. Please, Master Gautama, teach me this matter so I can understand what is a low life and what are the qualities that make you a low life. Actually, Brahmin, even though he said something like that, he was respectful in a way as to understand what are the real qualities that make someone who is spending a low life. And the Buddha then started discussing and then telling him that there are 20 types of low lives actually. So if we have one of them, that means you are spending a low life, although you have money, although you are born into a different caste if you were to be in India. So we are going to learn about these 20 types of low life. Is it clear so far? Low life means there are two interpretations. One is the low life in terms of what you call the Brahmin side. He took it as an insulting way to address someone, in this case the Buddha, that you have a low life and you don't have standards. And Buddha said, do you know what it means to be someone who has a low life? He said no. Then he said there are 20 types of low lives that make you a lowly person, not a person who has good standard ethically in Buddhism. Number one, low life number one. Kodhano upanahi cha papa makki cha yonaru vipanna ditti mayavi tangjanya vasalo iti. We can maybe turn around here. You can see here there are a couple things that make you into this kind of a low life. If you can see here, Kodhano means someone who always gets angry. Someone who always gets angry. What do you think about anger? Anger. What is anger to you? Is it a normal emotion? Should we be angry sometime? Are we supposed to be? Not supposed to be. But we get angry. We get angry because of not being able to understand what's happening. Most of the anger that arise within us, they arise due to not being able to understand what's happening during the time. After that event happened, we know that we were angry. That was not a good thing, right? So, but this person is someone who gets angry often. And Buddha talks about 3 angry persons in other sutta. Three angry person. I usually talk about these people. Rock anger. Interesting, huh? Rock anger. Second is soil anger. Third one is water anger. Now you might think that these angry types are related to material things. No. The nature of anger has been given out in certain metaphors. The first one, someone who has rock anger. How to understand this person? The Buddha says there is someone who gets angry, but that anger stays in him or her for a long period of time. Sometimes many years, many decades. So that kind of anger is something like someone is carving something on a stone. So what you carved in that stone will not be erased because you carved on the stone. So someone's anger under rock anger means an anger that lasts longer, many years. It's not a good one. The second one is someone who has soil anger. The Buddha says there is someone who gets angry, but that anger stays only for a short time. In our understanding, maybe a week, maybe a month, not more than that. That person cools down, get back to normal. So it's like someone is going to draw something on the soil, right? You draw it, maybe you draw something on the sandy something, and then it will not stay for long because of sand and maybe pebbles They all go here and there because people are walking, moving. And then there is another person who gets angry. That person has water anger. It's like someone who gets angry, but very fast, immediately, this person becomes cool down, right? He or she understands the problem. He or she does not keep the anger longer, right? So this is like someone is going to draw a line in the water. Once you drew it, and then that line will be erased. So that's called water anger. Now the person who we talk here, Kodano Upanahi. Now Kodano is someone who gets angry, probably soil anger. Upanahi, this Pali word is another term for different type of anger. Upanaha. Upanaha means revenge. Revenge. Upanaha means revenge. Koda means anger. Koda means anger, but Upanaha means revenge, which is a pretty bad thing. So I think Upanaha means rock anger. Koda can be one of these two. So anyways, we need to understand that it is not good to keep the anger, but we may be angry, but with a good practice, you may lower the chances of being angry. Rather, you find different other alternatives, solutions for the anger. Okay, so now if you become angry, the first thing is that you're going to become a lowly person for the moment you are keeping the anger, right? And then you can see Upanaha, revenge. Everybody who is keeping the revenge, they fall into the lowly life 1, 2. And then Papa Makki cha Yonaru. What does Papa Makki? Papa Makki, what does Makka mean? Makka means someone who is covering other person's good values. When other persons ask you, how is that person? Don't want to explain anything, because this person doesn't like to appreciate the other person's good values. We call it Makka. Papa Makka. Does not like to speak well of others. And then Vipanna Ditti means having wrong views. Wrong view means he or she does not give dana, he or she does not believe in sila, discipline, right? So the person is thoroughly rejecting the ethical life, right? Then having the same kind of ideas. I think the battery is not working here. Yeah, and then finally you can see, okay. Huh?
Pointer is not.
Huh? No, it's not working. It's okay, don't worry. Okay, and then you can see Mayavi. Maya means someone who is covering one's own bad karma. That is also very bad. Now say for instance, how many of us having done bad karma, trying to hide? Are we supposed to hide our own bad karma? No. That's why we are apologizing from the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. At the end, Kayena Vacha Chittena Pamadena Mayakata. But there are people who hides their own bad karmas. They don't like other people to know that they have done bad karmas. But if you are a Sotapanna, you never hide. We understand in Ratana Sutta, Buddha says, Kinchapiso kammang karoti papakang kayena vacha udachetasava ababbo sotassa patichadaya. That means, okay, that means someone who is trying to hide one's own bad life is is having what you call this low life. Now you understand what are the conditions for the first low life. If you have one of these things, that means you have a low life according to Buddha. That means if you are someone who is getting angry and who is keeping the anger as a revenge, and who is not going to appreciate other person's good qualities and lots of wrong views, and then concealing, hiding your own bad activities, this person is the one who we understand as someone who has a low life. If you think that you have one of them, that means you need to really work on decreasing, removing, overcoming these aspects of the low life. Okay, we go to the second low life. Ekajangva dvijangvapi yodapanang vihinsati yassapane daya natti tang janya vasalu iti. Now vasala means someone who has a low life. Whosoever in this world kills living beings, once born or twice born, in whom there is no empathy for living beings, know him or her as an outcast. What is once born, twice born? Who are they? Who are the twice born? Are we twice born or once born? We are born. We are once born. Who are the twice borns? Animals who are born from an egg. So egg is the first birth, and then coming out of the eggshell is the second birth. They have two births. I think you haven't probably understood that way. Huh? So their egg is coming out, and they are coming out of the egg at a certain point of time. So twice born. Now the problem here is this: there is someone who has no empathy at all towards those beings who have who were once born or who were twice born. That means we should have a empathy towards all sentient beings. What does empathy mean? There are many words: sympathy, empathy, compassion, kindness. How to understand these interesting words? What is empathy? Empathy means you are trying to put yourself in other people's shoes, because sometimes we cannot help other people that much, right? We have no money. Maybe we cannot intervene their life. We are outsiders. At that point, what we can do is at least we try to understand their pain. We call empathy is that state of mind. But sometimes, depending on our affordability, our nature, maybe the access, we are able to fully help the other person. We call it compassion. So the full version of empathy is compassion. Now the Buddha asks us to stay empathetic, empathize all sentient beings. Right? Not even your friends, not even your living beings. Bring empathy to all living beings. But if there is someone who is talking against any sentient being, apparently there is no empathy in that person. This person is considered spending a low life. That means we must be empathetic beings. Empathy is one. Those who have no empathy, those who lack in empathy, they have a low life. That's number second. There are 20, so I had to keep going. Third one, now things have been sadly gone to the next level. Someone who has no empathy, now what's going to happen? Yo hanti parirundati gamani nigamani cha niggahako samanyato tangjanyavas. Whosoever destroys and besieges, attacks villages and hamlets and becomes notorious as an oppressor, know him as an outcast. At that time in India, there were some people who were trying to besiege, who were trying to go to different villages and then to ask the people in those villages to surrender to him with some power, weapons, at that time. So that means at that time, the safety of the beings was not that good, right? So different powerful people go to different areas and try to take over the ownership of the village, maybe killing others, killing the village head person, and then declaring from today you are all under me and all that. So Buddha says this is one of the ways of living a low life. Don't do that. Respect. 4. Gameva yadiva ranye yang pare sang mama itang Teya adinnamadeti tang janya vasalo. Not even some people go to that kind of place, but also they want to rob the whole village, rob the whole city. Be it in the village or in the forest, whosoever steals what belongs to others, what is not given to him or her, consider as someone who has a low life. That means when you breach adinadana, the moment you steal someone's stuff, is called adinadana. That means when you breach the second precept of 5 precepts, you become a lowly person. Actually, are we reflecting enough about the second precept, adinadana? Now say for instance, you are supposed to meet someone at 8 o'clock, at 8 p.m. But you are going there at 8:20, 8:50. And the other person is waiting for you, and you agreed to meet at 8 o'clock, but you are coming at 8:20. That means you are stealing other person's time. Yes, because other person cannot do anything because waiting for you to come. That means we oftentimes steal other people's time. It is not only physical robbery. Because all activities finally become mental. That is where we create bad karma. So we have to be very careful. Are we really stealing other people's good emotions? In a relationship, this happens, right? Let's go to relationships too. There are people who are draining other people, who are taking all the energy of the other partner and then making that partner exhausted and becoming an energy vampire, right? That is also stealing. And later on when they break up, look at their story. This person consumed all my energy. I cannot get back that energy. I could have spent a very good life, but this person took everything for granted, took me for granted. So that means adinna dana is not someone going and stealing someone's money, breaking in, maybe robbing a bank or whatever. It is also stealing other people's stuff that you are not belong to. Time, emotions, and many things. So think broadly, because now conditions have changed. So we have to understand this fourth low life in that way. So be very careful. Respect other people's time. Respect other people's emotions. Respect everything. Then you can practice adinna dana veramani very well. The fourth low life is yo have inamadaya chujjamano palayati nahite inamattiti tanjanya vasaloiti. Whosoever having actually incurred a debt loan runs away when he or she is pressed to pay, saying, I owe no debt to you. This is something that makes you a lowly person. Now in today's world there are standardized names for that. Collection calls. And you got a loan and you are not paying back, so then your name will be gone on to the collection. They keep calling you, hey, you have to pay back. Right? That means then you should never apply for a loan. You should never apply for a line of credit because you can't pay back. But you may need a credit card, you may need a line of credit, you may need a mortgage, but if you cannot pay back, don't get it. Because if you are someone who is running away from all that, then you become a lowly person. If you are not paying back, you become a lowly person. Not even you, even some tycoons become these lowly people. They evade taxes, they evade things. during the Buddha's time, Buddha had to deal with certain issues of some other people. There were people at that time who got a lot of money from other people and then became monks. So there was a law, if you are a monk, you can't be arrested by the king. So what they did was, they got all the money from other moneylenders, and then without telling the monastery, they approached the senior monk or the whoever the mentor, and then asked them, can you please ordain me? So monks ordain that person, the one who has lots of loans. And then the kings, they asked the Buddha, don't do this. That is where the Buddha said, next time when a senior monk is going to ordain a lay person, he must do a credit check. Yes, at that time. That's why there are questions that senior monks have to ask from a novice, novice, and also someone like a lay person to become a monk. Do you have any money that you didn't pay back? Are you a soldier? Do you have a mental sickness? They have to check. Do you have the consent from the parents? I don't think these are really checked in today's world. That is why we have problems. We have to check. Because when the person enters as a monk and nun, you might call everybody is open to enlightenment, but we may have issues. So, even the Buddha asks, never ever ordain anybody who has a loan, who has not paid back. Right? So never think about becoming a nun or monk if you have a loan, mortgage. Just think about. Anyways, so if you don't pay back, you become a lowly person. Number 5, this kind of life. Number 6, maybe I'm not going to read the Pali stuff that much. Whosoever coveting anything kills a person going along the road and grabs whatever that person has. Can you please move this to this side for me? I don't have to look this way. This side. Much better, easier. Okay, someone who is really becoming greedy about something and kills a person going along the road and grabs whatever that person has, kind of a looting, right? There are events that are happening across the world. There are people who are trying to do that kind of a very horrendous attacks on the road. This person is called as a lowly person. At that time it happens. That's why the Buddha asked monks not to accept gold, silver and diamond. In the Vinayas, the Buddha said to monks, don't accept gold, silver and diamond. Jata, Rupa, Rajat, Patikkana. Why? Because you are going alone. Then robbers will attack you. Criminals attack you just to take your gold out. That's how monks didn't start accepting money. But now money has become digital, mobile wallets. Nobody is bringing money nowadays. That's why conditions have changed. We have to understand things differently. Everybody has been monetized now. We are monetized, you are monetized, and people are earning. Right? We cannot get rid of this monetization. So that's why we have to understand the practice of Buddhism through the modern conditions. So anyways, if there is someone who is attacking people who are going on the road, this person is a lowly person. Vasala. Number 6. Number 7 is he who for his own sake or for the sake of others, for the sake of wealth, lies when questioned as a witness. There are people who don't like witnessing what really happened. That means if you are asked to witness, you are supposed to witness properly. Right? Atta hetu, parahetu, danahetu. There are reasons. That means there are people who don't like to witness properly because of selfish reasons, and for other people just to protect his or her friends, and also for money. Maybe other people have given some bribes. Hey, don't say the truth. You are my friend. If you are concealing the truth, hiding the truth, that means you are becoming someone who is spending a lowly life. You may understand now these, now already we've been discussing 7 types of low life. These seem to be very normal in today's world. Probably people might not think they are big issues, but according to Buddhism, these tendencies in your thoughts, in your character, make you a lowly person, Vasala. Number 8. Whosoever by force or with consent associates with the wives of relatives or friends. This is something about what you call stepping over to other people's relationships, kamesumicchachara, right? So when you breach the kamesumicchachara, you are becoming someone who is having a very, a life of not promising to your spouse, your partner, and then wherever you go, whatever you do, you are trying to flirt with other people. You are trying to flirt. You find ways to flirt. You're trying to get people to you, and that makes you a lowly person. You have no standards at that point.
It's like not just wife, you work for both sides. You work for both
Yeah, spouses. Sorry, spouses. Wives or maybe men. Yeah. Yes, so it works. Okay. But the reason why the Buddha mentions Dara means wife, but in modern conditions, the both. Right? Number 9. Whosoever being wealthy supports not his mother and father, who have grown old, is going to become a Vasala person, lowly life. A lowly person. That means we really want to take care of our mother and father as much as we can. We may have sometimes problems with them when we take care of them. Their ideas, their views, how they interact with us. Maybe they might cherry pick one child, right? They might like the youngest one. It's okay, don't worry. We are supposed to do our part. Because this taking care of mother and father is not only something that you are paying back to your mother and father, but also something you are practicing as a part of the first noble path factor. We call it Sammaditthi. When we practice Sammaditthi, noble view, right view, it has something called accepting mother as a special person, accepting father as a special person. They both are part of Sammaditthi. So it gives us, it helps in becoming someone into the path as well. But sometimes there are people who don't take care of their mother and father, but they take care of the Sangha members. They are always in the temple. No, mother and father, no, I cannot deal with them. That is a wrong idea. Because Buddha talks about 3 types of punyaketta, fields of merits. One is mother, second father, then the Sangha members. Don't go to the temple without taking care of your mother and father at home or wherever. That is not the way. The Buddha said we have to start with the mother and father and then the Sangha members. Number 10. Now, the low life 10, that means this is also another way of becoming lowly actually in one's life, is that when there is someone who is always speaking harsh words to mother, father, siblings, relatives, always become mad at these people, always use very bad words, bad mouth, use very bad words, swears at others people, then at that point this person will become a lowly person. That means we have to be very careful with what we talk, because sometimes we cannot take back these words which we spoken about other people, especially the people we are always living with. They pick every word that we are talking because they know us for long term. So we have to be very careful when we are interacting with our family members, friends, even others who we don't know. Our words are very important. What kind of words that are we supposed to use? truthful words and words that can connect two people together, not to disconnect two people, words that are pleasant to other people, and words that are of really valuable to all of us in terms of our practice in the mundane life and in the spiritual life.
It seems to be only for families. The word seems it's only for family, mother, father, brother, sister.
Can we ask the questions later at the end? Yeah, let's keep. Yeah. Just save the questions. And then low life, number 11 is that whosoever, when questioned about what is good, says what is detrimental and talks in an evasive manner. There are people who try to walk away, who try to evade without responding to us in the proper way. So that means we are not really talking to these people. When you are asked something by somebody and you are trying to evade from that conversation. But there are some moments in our life where we have to walk away, we have to change the topic, right? Let's say that there is a situation that we have to understand and we cannot talk the truth to that person, because if we speak the truth there may be a fight happening. So we are going to delay that truth until the situation becomes okay. At that point, it is not that we are trying to evade, we are trying to change the topic, maybe walk away, because we don't want to lie, right? We want to protect the safety of other people too. But there are people whose character is like this all the time, who's trying to evade, not talking. And then even when you are asked about what is wholesome and you are not talking what is wholesome, and you are trying to talk about the opposite side of this wholesome nature. Let's say people are seeking your kind, wholesome advice, but you are not giving that advice. You are talking something else. So this makes you a lowly person. Number 12. Now this means, the number 12, low life means you are someone who is doing a certain unwholesome activity, akusala activity, and you are wishing that may other people not know this akusala activity, and you are committing akusala activities in secret. When we discuss this particular section, our attention goes to a very interesting quality of the Buddha. What is that quality? Arahang. The first quality, great quality of the Buddha. Arahang Samma Sambuddho. Arahang means, one of the interpretations of Arahang means the Buddha has never done an akusala karma even secretly. Secretly. Now let's take a look at of our life. How many people have we killed in thoughts in our life? We don't tell other people. Anger takes us over and we are very mad, and a lot of things are happening because thoughts become our good karma, bad karma. Not just go and do dana, not just come and sit down and listen to a dhamma talk. Finally your thoughts will become your karma, good or bad karma. In that case, due to certain misunderstanding of the situation and then struggling with our own akusalas, we may have done such activities. That's why even a thought of killing other people kicks in your thought. You have to immediately let it go. You should not develop it. Okay. But this person, not even at that point, he or she continues this akusala thought and then finally is going to do the akusala activity and expecting, wishing that may no other person find out my akusala activity. Right? So that makes that person a lowly person, a Vasala person. That means if you have never even shared with other people your life, you can think about, you can do a reflection about it. Number 13. Okay, this means that you are going to another house, maybe you are being treated by someone for a nice treat, but you are not treating the same person in the same way. You are being treated by someone, but you are not treating that person in return. So that makes you a lowly person. Actually, most of us, we understand when someone treats us, we have to treat that person back. It's a normal. But there are some people who are getting other people's treats but never treat them back. Then what will happen according to Buddhist teachings? If you haven't paid back for the treats you had, so in the next life, you will have to pay back in different ways. There are some stories, one man took a lot of loans from someone, never paid back. So he had to become a big cow to that person in the next life to bring all the weight. So never ever evade from the support. If you cannot, then you can support in different ways. So it's better to pay off, it's better to finalize. There shouldn't be any unfinished business before you die, because they will come as karmic baggage, karmic weight to pay back. So if you are treated, you are supposed to treat in your own way, in a way that you can afford. Otherwise, if you are someone who is not treating back, you are becoming a lowly person. This is the low life 13. 14. If you are lying to a monk or a nun, at that time Brahmin or ascetic, if you are lying, that lying will make you a lowly person. So this means musavada. That means you are not supposed to lie, not even to monks and nuns, even to anyone. Actually, you should not lie to you initially. Right? There are people who lie to themselves. So we should be very careful whether we are lying to us. Right? Then you are really protecting yourself from becoming false in your life. Have you heard that there are people who are cheating themselves? They cheat themselves. Actually, in our spiritual life, if you are not understanding these fundamental things, that means we are cheating us in a way. As we age, at a certain point, if you have a good, thriving, successful spiritual life, then you come to know, I have done something wrong. It will come back. It will come back to your mindset that I have done a wrong thing. Number 15 is that whosoever, when a monk appears during mealtime, angers him by harsh speech and does not offer him any dana, know him or her as someone, an outcast. This happened to many monks during the Buddha's time. We have lots of stories where even the Buddha, Pacceka Buddhas, they were treated by others very badly. Because at that time they had this Pindachara, custom. So I don't think that monks are going to visit you during your lunchtime, but at that time this happened simultaneously. But now you pretty understand. So it will make you someone called a lowly person. Number 16. Whosoever in this world, shrouded in ignorance, speaks in harsh words and tells lies, expecting to gain something. This is interesting. There are people who are speaking harshly and then they are lying to other people to gain something. We call it Miccha Ajiva. What is it? Wrong living. Have you ever heard people who are blaming other people just to make other people embarrassed, and when they are embarrassed, they get something done from those people? It's a way of living at that time. That's a pretty bad thing. And there are people who are lying to other people and then they are expecting to gain something. Like some of them who are in the marketing industry, they say we brought it from Himalayas. But actually it was not brought from Himalayas, it's a local thing. They just put the brand as something they got it from this place. So how many people they are deceiving the customers in the consumerism culture, right? So they just want to get something out of it. So anybody who is wrongly marketing, who is falsely marketing, become a part of this lowly life. So we have to be very careful, right? And Buddha talks about living, Miccha Ajiva and Samma Ajiva, about this particular activity. That means when you work, never become a part of a work where you are trying to cheat on your customers, right? We actually have to think this in a bit of empathy as well. There are some people who have no choice and they become a part of certain jobs. Now say for instance someone is a part of a tobacco company. How to practice Buddhism? By working for a tobacco company. How to practice Buddhism? By becoming an employee in a distillery company, right? This can be pretty difficult, right? But we understand, if we really want to practice Buddhism, we are trying to go to the field that we want to with right effort. But if you have no choice, what to do, right? We cannot say, hey, leave the job. You may not be able to find a job. But the Buddha says, find a job where you feel good about what you do at the end of the day. Not that I know what I'm doing is not good, but I make money. Even using that wrong money, you are to give a dana, you might not create good karma. Why? Buddha talks about the purification of the Daya Dhamma, that means the offering. The money that you are using to give a dana must be a pure money that you earn in good ways, not badly commissioning other people, not cheating on your customers, right? So that's why there are people who can become harsh and then can even lie to others just to get something out of it. This makes you a lowly person. And there may be somebody who is always debases other people. That means put other people down and try to always put oneself on a high bar. Always, I am the best, I am better than you, even in the Dhamma activities. I have a better meditation, I know better Buddhism than you, I know everything than you. So in a way you have to, respect me. And exalts himself, herself, and belittle other people. This makes that person a lowly person. In Buddhism, the most important quality with appamada is becoming a humble person. The more we learn, the more humble we should be. There are people who learn a lot of Dhamma, they become very prideful, conceited. That means they are carrying a big chunk of Dhamma as a head knowledge. That does not actually make any sense. Dhamma is for the practice, to become a better person. And if you want to go further, you go, become a little serious, and then attain certain enlightenment things. But initially, it will make you a very humble person, if you really practice it. So this kind of a person in mundane life also always appreciates, maybe shows off, maybe brags about oneself, even in the mundane life. What about the spiritual life? And belittle other people. So we have to learn from the good people. But if you have it, if someone has it, that makes that person a lowly person. 18. Whosoever is given to anger is having stinginess, has desires and selfish, deceitful, shameless and fearless. Rosako, Kadariyo, Papicho, Machari, Sato, Ahiriko, Anutta. We have to understand these words. Rosako means someone who is always getting angry. I think we go back to the first condition that makes us into the lowly life. Someone who is always become angry. Have you seen such people? There are people who are always mad, always angry. There's no any reason, but they are angry. They don't have a very positive, optimistic attitude. for whatever the reason. Kadariyo means someone who has stinginess. Stinginess means the opposite of greed. There is a difference between greed and stinginess. What is it? Greed means that the person does not give without a particular substantial reason. But stinginess, Kadariya means the person doesn't give because he or she doesn't like other people use what he or she is going to give. So that means Kadariya, Macharya, that means stinginess is a little bit terrible state of mind. Both Lobha and Macharya, greed and stinginess, must be overcome. So this person has stinginess. Papicho, lot of lowly desires. That means to kill, to steal, to sexually misbehave, and then to lie, and then to become intoxicated. Machari, Sato, very deceitful. Ahiriko, Anuttappi, no shame to do any akusala. That means we should have a certain shame when it comes to doing akusala. I can't do this, it's not good for me. It's not good for my Dhamma path. It's not good for my family. Always trying to be shameful about doing akusala. Anuttappi, I have fear if I do this wrong thing, it will come back to me. Moral fear, moral shame, moral fear. But this person has no moral fear, no moral shame. So, thereby this person is having a lowly life. 19. If there is someone who insults the Buddha, Arahants and others, right? Even some good people, lay people, without any proper reason. Actually, we are not supposed to talk bad about anybody. If we are speaking bad about anybody, that means we have a problem. We have a problem in our mundane life and our spiritual life. If you look at the people who badmouth others, you can see they have a problem. They really have a problem. Now, if you are someone who is becoming successful in every aspect of your life, let's say if you are not even, you have a good Dhamma practice, when it comes to talking bad about other people, you think twice, and I don't have to talk about these people. They don't matter to me anymore. I only talk about good things about other people, because by talking, by bad mouthing other people, I create lots of bad karmas. Right? So you are completely going away, walking away from this bad mouthing. Even if you have a bad friend who is always calling you and then trying to badmouth other people, you are not encouraging that kind of activity. Otherwise, you are into a low life. Last one, number 20. This is very interesting. You are not someone who is enlightened, but you are pretending you are an enlightened person. You are Sotapanna, you are Sakadagami, you are Nagami, you are Arahant. You have this and that, but you are not. That makes you the lowest of all the lowly life. That means we should never give some indications to other people, even if we are. Actually, if you really have a good spiritual life, you don't even talk about it with other people. You are just behaving like a normal person, right? And we learn from the Buddha about it, how to really become a humble person and then to work on our spiritual life. You are not going to say, I have this thing, I attain this thing, I have this jhana, that jhana, this meditation. You are going to stay low-key about your spiritual practice. So in this way, there are 20 ways that we can become lowly people, Vasala. That means, we're going back to the topic. Understanding low life, that means there are 20 ways that can make us into a low life, a lowly life. So we have to be very careful whether we may have developed these conditions in our life, so then we can protect us from not becoming into that low life and then becoming someone who has a life with, we don't take the opposite of this word, high life. We normally say a Dhamma friendly life, really a Dhamma friendly life, not expiring from our true practice. I think this is what I can share about this training because of the timing. Now we can go to the first question which you asked about. Good that you remember the number 10. Yes.
I'm just saying that the words only mention families.
Ah.
Does it
Can I?
refer to
Yeah. Can I give you the mic? It's better for the record. Just take it like this and talk. Huh? Don't need to clip. Just take it. Just hold on enough. Okay. Can you ask the question? Yeah.
Yeah, the words there mention all the families, but
Yes.
does this also refer to just friends?
The Pali word say Mataram means mother, Pitarang father, Batara means brother, Bagini means sister, and then yeah. So basically, if there is someone who is making the harsh speech towards family members, relatives initially, that person can become a lowly person. But I don't know, there is someone who is very nice to the family members and then only use harsh words to other people. But in that case also, that person can become a lowly person too, definitely. But here Buddha mentions we have to be initially using pleasant words to our loved ones. Normally people cannot do that. Normally there are people who are becoming nicer to other people. That's why their family members say, this XYZ people, how come they are going to be nice to others? They are very bad people in our family, talking very badly, harsh words. So normally the idea is that we have to start using good words, not making others annoying in our family circles, number one. So then I don't think that kind of a person will be bad to mean to other people. But there may be certain occasions where somebody might become so, as you say. So that will definitely make that person a lowly person too. It can be.
Can we look at the low life number 19?
Yeah.
Okay, now I know. Does this also include gossips here? Gossips?
No, but if the gossiping is leading to an insult about these individuals, it might be. Let's say, for instance, you are not going to the person, monk, enlightened person, maybe a monk, nun, even a good person, and you are not going to badmouth in front of them. Okay? But they are having their behind the door gossiping about, they are insulting about somebody, each other. Yes, it could be, definitely. Because not many people dare to go and then insult in front of people. So they are bad mouthing among others in their own circle. So better to stop that too. I think if we have that nature. Sometimes you are a good person, because of your bad friends, you will be dragged on to this thing. We have to be careful about. When they are talking bad about someone, just stay quiet. And the other person knows, I don't think he or she likes it. So you are giving the indication indirectly. So yes, definitely. There are two types of people. Some people go and directly insult. Some people are indirectly insulting, like gossiping and all that things.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah. All right. So we have time. Any questions? Yes. Yeah. If you have a question, please raise, so he will pass the mic. So. Is there anything that you did not understand about the topics or anything? Or you know everything which I taught? Anything that was not clear enough? Yeah, just
Bhante, can I ask about low life 3 or 4 about the killing one?
okay. 3. 3 is attacking others.
Oh no, this one the
4
one about killing.
is stealing.
Which is the one
Yeah.
that says empathy, killing, and then
Killing is 6. Yes, 6. This one. Going on the road and then kills.
no, there's another one you say about the 2 life, the one that 2 birth, the one that
twice. Once born, twice.
Yeah,
I think the second.
Second one, okay.
Yeah, whosoever in this world
In the world
kills living beings, once born, twice born. Yeah, no empathy.
No empathy. I don't really understand when they're talking about whoever kills living beings, and then there should in whom there's no empathy for living beings. That means what you're saying is that we should have empathy for all living beings. What does it?
If we have empathy, we are not even thinking about killing anybody.
Okay, but what about ants and insects, animals? I think
Yeah.
we are,
So
in a way
once
we
born,
tend to
twice born include all the sentient beings. Actually, Buddha used a very different way to explain, not saying that all living beings. He used once born, twice born. Then we have to understand how he considered all living beings. I think you may also, you also I think learn for the first time what is twice born, right? Again, then coming out of the shell, twice born. So Buddha wanted to tell people, especially the Brahmin, that you have to, because they were killing many animals, for their own sacrifices. We are once born, but there are some other animals or some other beings who are twice born. So that means there are some animals who are not twice born, right? Who are not coming out of an egg, right? Mammals, right? They are not twice born, right? They are not coming out of an egg. Because in Buddhism we have 4 types of birth. Huh? Have you heard that? Oh, first time. I could explain to you there. Maybe another one? Or maybe down there. 4 types of birth. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. First one is Andaja. Anda means egg. Egg born. So there are some animals who are egg born. Who are they? Many, many animals. I think you name them. Second one is Andaja, Jalabuja. Jalabuja means, womb born. They are born out of a womb. Who are they? Humans? Not only humans. There are many other animals too. Many. From a womb. The third category is under Jalabuja, Sansedaja. Sansedaja means? Moisture. Moisture, maybe mortification. Born. Who are they? There are some animals who are born out of the moisture or mortification. Now we see there are some snakes who are egg born. Some snakes, they are not egg born. They are just born out of the filthy stuff. Some snakes, now cobra is a egg born one, but there are some other snakes who are just born out of the filthy stuff, mortification. So moisture. There are so many creatures in our house. They are just born out of the moisture. Who are they?
Worms?
Yeah, we have. Yes, so they are called Sansedaja. Last group, Opapatika. Opapatika means Spontaneous. Spontaneously born. What is it? Yeah, that's a good one.
Spontaneous.
Spontaneous. Very good. Yes. Spontaneous means born without egg. The womb means mother. Sansar means any moisture. There are no reasons for that birth. Who are they? Deva. Then Deva, deities, and Brahma, higher deities, and then all the beings in the apayas, not the Tirachan animals, other beings who are going to the apayas. There are 16 apayas we talk about. 16 apayas in Buddhism. We have 8 hot hells and 8 cold hells. So anybody who is going to be reborn in 8 hot hells or 8 cold hells, they have no mother, father. Don't think to bring your mother when you die if you have done bad karma. You can't bring them. Even you can't bring them to the heaven. You are going alone. So that's why this kind of birth is called Opapati. Now you understand the birth. Now Ekaja Dvija, once born, twice born. So we have to find out who are the separate beings out of these 4 classifications. So what I can say here, in order to understand this part, you just think that if someone has no empathy for any sentient being, don't think about this twice born, once born. If someone has no empathy, no compassion also to other beings, that person is a lowly person. There are people like that who have no compassion, no empathy, cannot understand even what other people are going through. That makes him or her a lowly person. Does it make sense? Okay. Because finally we should know what is how is this going to be relevant to our practice. It is going to be relevant to our practice by thinking I should have lots of compassion to all living beings, including me. So then you are okay. Right. Yeah, other questions?
Bhante, normally when we read suttas, we tend to relate it to the context of the audience. So, with regards to the once born or twice born, since it's directed at the Brahmin, so could we relate it as that there could be certain practices by the Brahmins then that they do a lot of sacrifices, as what we know. That was probably the context, because when they sacrifice animal, that's where either it's a once born or twice born.
Yeah,
So could that
definitely.
be the context?
It could be, yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely. Because maybe Buddha picked up this way to explain to the Brahmin easily. So he understands easily this interpretation. It could be.
I find that the low life, there are quite a lot of repeated items, like for example killing. There may be a few items which is actually related to killing, but the way they put it,
Contexts are different.
Oh,
Yeah. Killing is there. People kill differently.
for different motives.
Because Buddha had to say to Brahmin that killing has been done differently. And it's not that everybody understands, it's common sense not to kill any being. But when it comes to killing, Buddha had to interpret certain context to the Brahmin. That's why he put it that way. I don't think it's kind of a repetition, because context is different. And I think if we talk about from that perspective, then there shouldn't be 20 low life. Only one low life. Akusala, if you do akusala, then that life is low life. But why he had to explain 20 ways? Because the ways and means how people create akusala are different. So he wanted to approach different angles of akusala life. That's why.
So meaning to say is that probably the way the people then interpret about what is kusala and akusala from their own context.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even in today's world, how many akusalas people are juggling in their own modern conditions?
Okay.
Yeah, so it depends. So he wanted to approach definitely the Brahmin and his because he was blaming the Buddha that you are a low person, and then he had to say, no, I'm not low. These are the things that make someone a lowly person.
Bhante, just now at the low life 20, that is the lowest of the low of the low. That's the lowest of the low life. So for the rest of it, is there this sutta any reference to the hierarchy of the low life? I mean, like which level?
Yeah, probably this same numbers could be the order. Starting from number 1 and going to number 19 could be the order, and 20 is the lowest. So starting, yeah.
Yeah. Next question is when you look into that, some of it can be like something that is a bit subtle that we don't actually notice it most of the time.
Very unnoticeable. Yeah.
So then the question comes to intention. We talk about intention all the time. So if not knowing, but our intention is not there, then what do we say about low life there?
Okay, very good question. Now that's why we need mindfulness. That's where sati plays a role. But now today you all understood there are things that we have to revisit in our life. Small minor places where we may have crossed the akusala area, actually crossed into akusala. So when you understand these subtle things, even you understand them as very subtle, but as being subtle, then from today onwards you can be mindful not to cross into that akusala area. So they are subtle as of now. Before you hear the Dhamma talk, yes, but now it won't be subtle anymore, because now you know they are not good anymore. So you are working on them. It will take time, but at least you know that they are not good. That is important, right? The Buddha says, Anumattesu vajjesu bhayadassāve. It's very important to be fearful even at a small minor akusala, because it will take you to a very major akusala one day. So today you learn that these are really causing us to become lowly. We have another almost 10 minutes, so if you have any question, please. Yeah. Perhaps we have Brother TC, and yeah, Brother TC is the one who is asking a lot of questions in my discussions. Okay, Pastor Mai, better.
Since this is low life, what about, is there any sutta on so-called the other side of the spectrum, the high life or the good life?
Yeah, basically we take Mangala Sutta. Mangala Sutta is that we don't say high life. That's pretty daunting word. We can say a life with lot of blessings. How to elevate this life from that lowly life into that, that level.
Thank you, Bhante. This is good, very helpful for lay people.
Rather than talking very high-end suttas.
Yeah.
Because if you talk very high-end suttas, we will get stuck because you are lay people. So better to start with this kind of. Now tomorrow we are discussing Parabhava Sutta, also so very interesting. Downfall. How do we get into downfalls, problems in our life? Now this is something we've been doing, but if we, seep into a downfall pit, we can't even create Mangala. So Vasala Sutta is very important. What about rock anger, soil anger, water anger? Lot to discuss. Maybe we can discuss about metta a little bit about this anger. Anger is a normal emotion, but we become different in terms of how we manage our anger. Okay, we don't have to control anger. We need to manage our anger. One way to manage our anger is what we call the RAIN method. It's a good one. RAIN, R-A-I-N, which stands for different activities. It is not even for anger. You can take any other akusalas for this RAIN. R stands for recognizing. That means every time you feel you becoming angry, you recognize this is anger, or this is jealousy, this is bad mouthing kind of a nature, this is something that I'm going to talk bad about other people, this is something where I'm going to gossip. Let's take anger. You recognize anger. Maybe way before it becomes, it becomes a full state of mind. Then R-A. A means accept. I am becoming angry now. Then you relate that, not even anger. Now this anger is coming from me. I am becoming angry. So you accept your anger. R-A. I means investigate. Investigate your anger from many channels, physically, mentally, emotionally. Physically, you are looking at your breaths are going to be heavy, and you are losing your voice, you are stuttering. A lot of things are happening when you become angry. You are noticing all these tiny little things that are happening within you, physically. Mentally, emotionally, the kind of the drain of your thoughts. You are not becoming focused. All your wholesome thoughts are affected because of this angry thought. You are thinking the damage. What do you call? The damage that is happening to your kusala side. Right? So investigate. That's I. Then finally, N. Now the activity. N means non-identify. You are not going to identify this emotion with you. You are going to deconstruct anger from you. Because there are people who cannot understand their own anger. They are relating, I was blamed by someone, I was annoyed by someone, so I have to become angry, I have to take revenge. Why? Because they relate two things, anger and the person into that. Say for instance, you were blamed by someone today morning around 9 o'clock. And you are thinking, I was blamed, I should not have been blamed by this person. I was so good to that person, very kind, but I was blamed. But if you take this N, non-identify, which means that you are going to cut that connection. It was not me, it was my previous self at 9 a.m. today that was blamed, and I am not that self anymore. Anatta. Anger is gone at that point. It was not me who was blamed, it was my previous self. So why do I have to become angry? So this RAIN methodology, R-A-I-N methodology is very, very helpful for us to manage with any mental state, especially akusala mental states, jealousy, you name it. So if you think that, as you said, we may struggle with our subtle mental states, I think anger could be one of them, definitely. So then this methodology, RAIN methodology, will be a very good one to manage these three things and bring more metta into our life from morning until evening. Wake up with metta, sleep with metta, talk with metta, think with metta, act with metta. Metta is going to be a full practice. And it's not going to be only a meditation early in the morning and then you become the ferocious bad person after that. Right? So you are the Buddha said, mettaya kaya kammena, metta with your actions, mettaya vachi kammena, metta with your speech, and mettaya mano. Even you think about other people, even you think about your life, bring metta to that thinking activity. Then you are minimizing the moments to become angry. RAIN methodology will be really working at that point. All right, if you don't, we will take one more minute. Otherwise, we will wrap this up by transferring good karmas. Any more questions?
I just like to add, just adding,
Yeah.
from what we talked about metta just now. I just come from a talk recently, and they say that be a metta radar. Just a radar. How the radar of anything that captures all the satellites and things. And
Metta radar.
Metta radar.
Radar.
Be a metta radar yourself. So that you'll be moving around, and your mind, everything, your thoughts, your speech, your action is all metta.
Yes.
So I like the word, be a walking metta radar.
Yeah.
That's just to share.
Yeah, it's good. Actually, most people struggle, not that they don't know metta is good. They don't know how to bring metta to their own life at different times. This is the biggest issue in their life. Now one thing I'll share with you. There was somebody who was always sharing with me that she does metta all the time. She does a metta practice, like a everyday metta practice, but she says, I still don't feel I'm somewhere in my metta practice, although I've been doing metta every day. And I asked, what kind of metta you are doing? You had to ask, what kind of metta you are doing? Okay, in the morning after got up from my bed, rinse myself, and then I just think, may I be well, happy and peaceful, and the usual metta prayers, and then and then I pick up my loved ones. Then I ask, are you friendly with all the family members in the household? No, there is one difficult person in my family, in this household. Then, were you able to include this particular family member in your metta prayer? No, I cannot do that. Then I said, you should expect the failure in your metta practice, because when we bring in all the people, the Buddha said, first us, then loved ones, third, neutral people. Fourth is challenging, difficult ones must be in our practice. Then the all living beings. When you bring in all the difficult people, you may have problems, arguments with them. They can feel your metta. So I think there is no doubt why your metta practice is not going really well. So that is a problem. Not that people don't know that metta is good. They don't know how to bring in, because they always create conditions for their metta. You cannot create conditions for metta. Your all conditions must be metta. Otherwise, metta is not going to work for us. It's going to be a 24-hour, 48-hour, 36, whatever kind of a prayer only, chanting only. So we have to bring in, we have to understand what is my life, my personal life like. How is it going on? Do I have problems with my people? If I don't like my family members, relatives, people at work, how to bring metta to these people? I cannot exclude anybody in that practice. If I can do that, then that metta radar may be a satellite, maybe more than that, the universal kind of thing can really thrive in, can really flourish. Otherwise, I think we are not able to do it in the proper way. We do it in a wrong way, right? Like how some people chant, huh? They don't get blessed the way that they think. Why? They are making mistakes in their chanting. Right? So in that way, we have to practice it in the proper way. So that, how to understand the proper way of metta? Read Metta Sutta. Karaniya Metta Sutta. Buddha clearly mentions how to practice metta. First, you need to have 15 skillful habits. 1-5, Sakko, Uju, Suju, Anatimani. There are 15 skillful habits which are prerequisites for your metta practice. Do you think these people, they practice these 15 before metta? Do you think so? Do you think these people who are talking metta in high regard, they already have practiced these 15? I don't think so. They just think that they practice it. When they read Metta Sutta, then you understand how the Buddha clearly said about how to practice metta. First, you have to practice these prerequisite qualities. Then you start metta the way how the Buddha talks. The invisible beings, visible beings, size matters, enlightenment status matters, and then how the Buddha asks us to practice metta. And finally, you are understanding metta is the only meditation you can do without a posture. Anapanasati, you must sit down. But the Buddha said, Tittang, you stand with metta. Now when you finish the Dhamma talk, you stand with metta for everybody. Charang, when you walk with metta. If you want to sit down again in the car, sit with metta. Yavatassa vigatamittu. When you go home, before you sleep, you may lie down. You are going to practice metta as long as you are awake. That is the real metta. Buddha said, Brahma metta. This is the highest attitude. It has to become an attitude. So if we don't do this way, we are not getting blessed with metta. And also you remember the story of the monk. I think I always share that story in our Sutta classes. One day there was a big cobra came into the temple, Jetavanaram. Buddha was there at that time. So there was a monk who was self-proclaiming that he practices metta. So don't even bother me, don't knock my door. I practice metta, he said to other monks. So on that particular day, he was just moving around. That cobra went to him and then he attacked this monk and he passed away. Buddha was in the temple. And other monks rushed to the Buddha and said, Bhante, that monk who was self-proclaiming about metta, he was attacked by the cobra. How come? Because you are saying if you have real metta, you are not attacked by even a weapon, even hot water, even other problems. Then the Buddha said, yes, I know he has been practicing metta, but he did not practice in the proper way. That's why he was attacked. Then the Buddha says, Virupakkehi me metta, mettang eira patehi me, chabya puttehi me metta, mettang kanha gotamakehi. When you practice metta, you are supposed to be in a certain place. Let's say you are in this place, you are in your area. You should understand who are the animals around your area. Terrible, those animals. If you are living in a place like Thailand, in a forest, elephants are there. They might attack you anytime. So this monk did not understand his neighborhood properly. So the cobra who attacked him did not feel his metta. That's why he attacked him. So you have to bring in those people, those difficult beings into your metta practice. That's what happened to that lady also in the first example. She never brought the difficult person in that family into her metta. She always had a troubling, challenging time with that person. But she says, I do metta. And this particular monk, he was attacked because those animals have to feel about your metta. So you have to particularly think about Virupakka is one type of snake group, reptile group. Chabbyaputta is one type of reptile group. Erapata is one type of reptile group. Kanha Gotamaka is one type of reptile group. And I had to understand who are the reptiles in those particular groups. Then only those animals will feel my metta. Now what does it mean? We have to practice metta in the proper way. Otherwise, we will not be really blessed with the metta in the proper way. We might have a moment of instant Dhamma joy. This is metta, instant Dhamma joy, instant Dhamma hit, but not going to really work in our practical life from other, because we have to feel how other people treat us too, in the way how we do. If you are really practicing metta, other people will feel very dearly cordial with you, friendly with you, if it is really going well. All right, I think we have almost come down to the timing. Are we going to share the good karmas first, and then you are? Okay, please.
Okay, thank you, Bhante, for the wonderful and insightful sharing. I see these 20 types of low life as a detailed explanation of how to keep the 5 precepts. Okay, because we don't just chant the 5 precepts, because there are many ways that we are not aware where we can actually break the 5 precepts. So that gives us an insight and awareness of the subtleties involved in breaking the precepts. And this is something that is very relevant to us lay people. And the one great thing that I really learned from Bhante during the Sutta study is that when we study the suttas, we must be aware of the context of the suttas where it was spoken by the Buddha, because not all suttas are suitable for lay people. Some are meant for the monastic. So if we follow blindly, then the lay people become half a monk. And if the monk follow the lay people's sutta, they become half a lay people. So you want to be a lay people, be a perfect lay person, be a monk, be a perfect monk. So we got to be aware of the suttas, whether it is the Buddha spoke, is it meant for us or is it meant for the monastic? And thank you very much. And let us spread metta, and the latest update from Johor Buddhist Mission tomorrow. Okay, there was questions by some devotees whether the vegetarian dana they are going to offer, can they consist of garlic and onions? So the reply is sorry, no garlic, no onions. Okay, because this Bahayana temple, and many of them are lifelong vegetarian. So that's why they cannot take garlic, they cannot take onions. So let us observe this, okay, as a way to spread metta. And thank you very much. And we have identified what is a low life, and let us look forward to tomorrow's session on the topic. This time, not identify, but avoiding the 12 causes of downfall, okay, of not becoming low life. Okay, so let us say sadhu 3 times to Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We now invite Bhante to lead us in the sharing of merits.
Just keep it on the cushion. Just be one cushion. All right. Thank you, Brother TC, for the announcements, and then what you have felt during the timing. Now we are going to think about all the good karmas we've been making today by listening to this Dhamma sharing about what makes us become a lowly person, Vasala. And they are all spiritual activities mainly, not your birth. Buddha said nobody become an outcast, nobody become lowly by birth, only by actions, thoughts and speech we can become lowly. That means we have that opportunity, we all have that opportunity, whether we are born with money or not, whether we are born into those things, we always have the spiritual capacity to become a very good person. So thinking all that, may all the good karmas we be making today be transferred to all the departed ones who passed away in the name of all of us. May they be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayu. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayu. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayu. May Deva, Naga, Mahitika also share all these good karmas. May they be well and happy. For this Dhamma tour with Brother T.C. Lim, Brother S. Lim, S.K. Lim, and you both work together for all these. Now there are other individuals involved. They are doing all the activities in this. So you created a very good opportunity for many people to listen to Dhamma, at the same time share Dhamma, and then to engage in this whole tour. May all of you be well and happy. May all you be protected by Devanaga Mahitika for good health, quality of life and prosperity. May Devanaga Mahitika bless your Dhamma journey. May they finally be well and happy and attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata ja ammehi sambhatang punya sangpadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sangpatti siddhya akasatta ca bummatta deva naga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhang tuduka sasanang chirang rakhang tudisanang chirang rakhang tumang paranti chirang rakhang tutvang sadati. At the same time, at the end of any good karma, we continuously make our good wish. Our good wish is always to be surrounded by Kalyana Mittas, noble friends, friends who can guide us, be the light in our Dhamma path. May we be able to be in the company of Kalyana Mittas till we attain Nibbana. With this great wish, we are going to recite this stanza. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamu satang samagamu tu yavanimbana patya. Finally, while being grateful, thankful to Southern Gladians for starting off this tour. Today is the first talk, and we have another talk tomorrow night. And then we are reflecting upon all the good karmas, and they've been taking me to some places. I really enjoyed the village we went, Putuo village. How do you call it? The village? Putuo village, and the temples and all these places. May all these good karmas you are making during this time, I think the ladies, they are facilitating in their own ways. So may all the good karmas you making as a group in this Dhamma endeavor be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now I am going to bless all of you. Please receive the blessings. Abhivadana silissa niccang bandhapachayinu Chattaru dhamma vandhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarugya sangpatti sagga sangpatti mevacha ato nibbana sangpatti iminati saminjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That's the end of our first Dhamma talk in this tour. I'll be seeing you then tomorrow, maybe lunchtime, if not tomorrow night. Thank you everybody. Have a good night, pleasant night. Have a safe trip back home. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Stop.